All right, let's jump right into a fascinating lecture by Master Changgung. He kicks things off with a question that's really designed to make you pause and think. It takes two figures you'd probably put at opposite ends of the spectrum and asks us to find what really separates them.
So, let's really think about this for a second. A religious fanatic and a die-hard communist. You'd think they're worlds apart, right? One is all about God and the afterlife. The other is about a political, materialist ideology. But Master Chiang wants us to look past all that. He asks, what's the real difference? And his answer? Well, it's pretty stunning.
That's it. Plain and simple. He says that fundamentally, they are exactly the same. Now, that's a bold statement, isn't it? It kind of stops you in your tracks. So to even begin to understand how he gets there, we have to totally rethink what we mean by the word belief. Okay, so to get to the heart of this, Master Chiang brings in the Korean concept of sinayang. Now, this isn't just belief in a religious sense. He's talking about something much, much bigger. He sees it as the basic operating system humanity has always used to build things and organize itself. So under this much broader definition, belief is basically any idea that can get a group of people on the same page, form an organization, and build collective strength. It doesn't matter if it's spiritual, political, or even corporate. If it brings people together to achieve something, it's sinning.
And this is where it gets really interesting. Look at this list. Master Chiang puts communism and democracy right next to corporate slogans and followers of religious figures like Jesus or political figures like Kim Il-sung or Hitler. From his perspective, it doesn't matter what the content is. If the function is to unite people and gather power, it's the same kind of system.
So you might be thinking, okay, if all these systems are basically the same tool, were they all a mistake? And the answer from Master Chiang is a definite no. He says they weren't wrong at all. In fact, they were an absolutely essential part of our story for a very, very long time. Think about it like growing up. You know, when you're a kid or a teenager, you need rules, you need teachers, you need some kind of structure to help you grow strong and figure things out. Well, he says humanity was like that for thousands of years. We were in a growth phase, and we needed these powerful belief systems to help us pool our energy, build civilizations, and just develop. And this chart just lays out the shift he's talking about perfectly. You see, back in the age of growth, the whole point was to gather power. You did that by joining a group, an ism, an ideology. The focus was all on the collective. But now, he says we're in a new era, and the mission has totally changed. It's just to live your own life. The method isn't to join something, but to find your own path. The focus shifts from the group to your own individual joy. We've basically graduated. So, if we've graduated, that changes everything, right? If the old assignment, building up our strength, is finished, what's the new one? What are we supposed to be doing now? This is the key. This is the new instruction manual. All those old belief systems, all those isms, their job was to get us to this point. They were the training wheels that got humanity to a place of maturity and knowledge. And according to Master Chiang, we're here. We've arrived. And now, it's time to take the training wheels off. So what this means, on a practical level, is that our whole purpose has shifted. The mission is no longer to be weak and ask for help from some higher power or ideology. The new mission is to express our gratitude for all that growth by actually living a full, vibrant, and joyful life. That joy is the new form of worship. And this analogy, man, it really hits home. He says that when we cling to these old ideologies, we're like a grown adult who still lives in their parents' basement, asking for an allowance. For any parent, that's not a source of pride. It's a source of sadness. You want your child to go out and live their own amazing life. And in the same way, he says, our job is to become our own person and live brilliantly. Now, this idea of humanity graduating isn't just an abstract concept. Master Chiang lecture gets very specific about what this means for the future of the world, and he actually points to a new global center for this next chapter of our story. And he puts a date on it. He pinpoints the year 2030 as a major turning point. He predicts that around this time, the old ways of thinking and the old power structures will really start to fade, and the world is going to start looking to one particular place for answers on how to live in this new era. He says the next great age of humanity won't be about who has the biggest economy or the most powerful military. It's going to be a spiritual era. And the leaders of this new age, the people who will guide the way, are destined to come from Korea. So you've got to ask, why Korea? Well, in his lecture, Master Chiang uses this term, Chonsun,
which translates to descendants of heaven. But it's not about being better than anyone else, it's about having a special job to do. He argues that the Korean people have spent centuries acting like a sponge, absorbing all the world's wisdom, cultures, and ideas. And now, their job is to process all of that, make it shine, and light the path forward for everyone else.
And this is where it all comes full circle, and it's really beautiful. The path to world peace isn't going to be some big political treaty. It starts with the individual. Master Chan Gong's ultimate point is that when we learn to live our own brilliant, joyful lives, that positive energy doesn't just stay with us. It creates a ripple effect that can literally lift up all of humanity.
And so, that's where we're left. Master Chan Gong's lecture completely takes apart our old ways of thinking. He offers a pretty radical new vision for the future, one where individual joy becomes the engine for global peace. It leaves us with this huge question. If we actually let go of all the old isms that have defined us and divided us for so long, what on earth is going to take their place?